matchups here, though, a little bit more for DRX. You have the Lucian lane in the bottom, you have the Galio that can neutralize the Orianna pretty well, and then you have that counter matchup for the Rumble there for Rich topside. Secure this first dragon.
Yep, not to mention the fact that Berserker is catching a wave towards that bottom side. So Handle is
They're fighting for this,
up
though.
Life momentarily. Life goes in, nice double pulverizes. The heroic entrance will come down. They're looking to turn on the bottom lane. As DRX with the flash forward, and Life will be taken out. That's first blood over to Teddy. And that is a great way to set up the Fountain Laser.
Yeah, Bulldog did not have mana.
I don't think DNF are going to be contesting for these.
No, there's just no level 6 for Life. He's only halfway there. Like, Andal doesn't have it either, but he's much closer. You can see that XP lead. They know they're behind there. They also know that trying to Nocturne ult into this fight without vision is just a fool's errand. And unfortunately, you know, this is one of the places you would have liked to pretty high chance.
Yep, teleport is up as well as, all right, we're going aggressive. Berserker does manage to land the Deadly Flourish, but this Unbreakable Will is not quite enough, as Life will be able to limp his way up and not going to be able to defend any sort of Drake take or anything like that. Bulldog still retains control of mid. I think DRX understand that they need more people here towards this top side of the map because Rich is now very, very vulnerable. No arm guard or anything like that to help him out, as Teddy will be putting on a little bit more pressure, having to respect the fourth shot here.
All it takes is one little team fight here for DNF to get right back into this game. I mean, they're ahead in gold right now, but I mean, this could really put them in full control.
Yeah, Rift Herald gonna get started up here. Dustbringer comes on through. There is a ward down already as Life gets behind them. Wind becomes lightning. Into the back line he goes. Equalizer comes through as well, as it's just melting them down. Life will be actually still alive here as Sponge takes down the Rift Herald, but in the meantime, it's Berserker that's threatening here against this Xin Zhao that's so incredibly low. These health bars, kind of crazy. Sponge electing not to use his smite on that one.
And once again, DNF with Cryo here. Teddy so far away, they want to wait for him to be the target before they look for the turn.
Yeah, Sponge is going to go in. Wind becomes lightning, does find Pyoshik here, but he has the paranoia. Into the back line they go. Tries to get Teddy, but he gets out of the way of it. Still, Rich is able to bounce his way between worlds to keep himself alive, and now they're lined up. Teddy still looking for an angle here, but doesn't have the culling anymore. And Life likely to get locked down. There it is. As soon as that Winter's Bite hits, the Lucian's so good at proccing it. And down will go the Alistar. That should mean that the Drake belongs to DRX and Soul Point too.
This is such a good sign for DRX. I mean, Soul Point is massive, but the fact that they're able to win 2 fights back-to-back where Teddy is untouched. The first time because they engaged before he was there. The second time because he reacts instantly, has an amazing flash dash away there, and does not actually get picked off. They turn the engage on DNF. When you have a control mage mid,
DNF can use that extra money in the coffers to deny Drake after Drake after Drake. As Paranoia comes down, they're looking for Sponge to be able to take him out here. Deadly Flourish is going to connect, but he's pretty well protected. Shockwave connects onto Teddy and to Sponge. The pulverizes there as well, and Teddy is just melted down. Nowhere good to go, and DNF, they spring to life. They will be able to lose life, unfortunately, there, as Rich is going to have to try and get himself out of the way. The flash will be utilized in order to do so, but now the Otacon should go over to DNF. That gold lead still there for DNF as Dudu throws down the ulti, but unfortunately he is surrounded. In comes Life, finds the Winter's Bite there as well, and Dudu is going to go down. This could spell an Otacon as Bulldog is towards that top side, teleport in hand. But a 4v5, do you really want to be going for that?
Scenario here, but DNF, yes, use the dragon to then pull DRX there. They are slowly realizing that is how they have to play this.
Oh, Teddy on a bit of a flank angle here, which is kind of awkward. Shockwave connects onto 2. The Equalizer goes down as well just to finish off Andal, and it is going to work out. No door anymore for DRX. As Yahoo able to use that Justice Punch to escape, but this will mean no soul for DRX. And the first Drake will be picked up by DNF. Those tempo vibes, man.
Yes, use the dragon to then pull DRX there. They are slowly realizing that is how they have to play this.
Oh, Teddy on a bit of a flank angle here, which is kind of awkward. Shockwave connects onto 2. The Equalizer goes down as well just to finish off Andal, and it is going to work out. No door anymore for DRX. As Yahoo able to use that Justice Punch to escape, but this will mean no soul for DRX. And the first Drake will be picked up by DNF. Those tempo vibes, man.
And without it, DRX win a waiting game.
In the meantime, we've got junglers doing battle with one another, but the fear is fantastic. Shockwave is even better from Bulldog. As Teddy's been exhausted, this culling is not going to be doing the damage that they want it to, and now Dudu has made his way into the fight. Equalizer still up and available. DRX need to be so careful because this Rumble is so scary. Still Teddy trying to go aggressive as Dudu is going to go down. The Equalizer still doing some work, but this is the DRX show now. Teddy's just dead because he walked up the red carpet, but thankfully Rich is still there with the damage, grabs the double, and DRX find their first team fight win.
A mid-outer turret here. He's the only one alive here for DNF. He's going to get away with it.
He has the curtain call.
There's no way.
Yeah, sorry, curtain call doesn't actually do anything to a Braum. So that is going to be Baron. Still has the Equalizer up as well. So if this Shockwave is going to be found, it could be a huge deal. You can see DRX trying their very best just to spread out as Pioshik will have control of this area. The Glacial Fissure goes down, but it doesn't quite work out here. It is going to be that Infernal Soul locked up for DRX though, and DNF just not actually pulling the trigger on anything. Equalizer still up, Shockwave still up. And so a DRX, of course. Shockwave finally going to be used. There's the Equalizer. The curtains have been called as Andil will be sacrificed for the good of the team as Rich is going to explode as well into that pool of cinders.
This is a massive win for DRX, but I gotta give credit where it's due. The fight is lost. They lost the Infernal Soul. The game is also likely lost with it, but I love to see that we've seen massive improvements here in shot calling for DNF. And they're gonna get Otacon as well.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is making the best out of a bad situation, right? Because they were sieging the top inner turret, and as it turns out, I don't even think that goes down.
Waiting to see if Teddy steps too far forward or if that support jungle duo is also too far forward, contesting neutral. Pioshik caught.
Very awkward position here as he's exhausted, has to flash to get himself out of the way. Is there the flash pulverize from Life, but he doesn't manage to push Teddy back. Oh, it's a disaster in the end. They do get the combo onto Teddy, but that Maw of Malmortius means that it does basically nothing. And now the culling is a deadly back scratcher for Dudu, who's the last man standing. And as it felt like DNF had the initiative in these fights, they lose all of it and probably the game.
Yeah, I think this game is just simply donezo. Voidlings here going to help them start hitting this turret. The wave is just a few seconds away, and with these death timers, this certainly should be the end here of game one. A heroic attempt from DNF here, but DRX got Teddy ahead. His positioning was phenomenal due to now just one man against the world.
A little bit of desperation there as the buffed up Rumble on this patch, not quite enough to deal with the Fountain Laser in the end. As Life turns up, man, he's going to be kicking himself, right? I feel like Life has had so many better performances than from earlier on in the year, but that last play must feel terrible.
But you look at DRX, and not only this time do they have a really strong scaling AD carry, and Teddy will be able to position against us and has Spell Shield, but then they can utilize his prio to play through double globals. I feel like this time DRX have agency, which they didn't necessarily have that much in game one. Plus, yeah, not great in the early game, though, unfortunately for him in this situation, whereas Pantheon is incredible. And Life is isolated. They are going to clear this wave, and they may try to, with this stacked up wave, look for a kill. Yehu's also here.
Berserker can't get any of these minions.
Yeah. Bulldog is engaged.
Yeah, over they go. Teddy going to flash out of the way of the seismic shove, and Bulldog doesn't have a brush to run to. That's first blood going over to Andil, as Pioshik just a little late to this party.
And they did it without even Realm Warp. Yehu just came over here, and Life's like, well, I guess I got some of the XP, maybe a CS or two. I don't even know how much of that he got. Berserker will finally get the last four of these, really helps things out here for Dudu. He actually probably gets a Demolish proc here on the top side, so that will certainly help. As Andil's looking for the engage.
Yeah, and Sponge is already here. Bulldog absolutely nowhere to go. No flash, no chance. And Sponge very happy to tank up that turret. Dudu in between the turrets. And Rich is going to make it back to lane with about 50% health. That plate you were talking about does go over pretty far ahead of Rich at this moment in time. And so Pioshik will at least be able to get one of these, and in fact, should be able to get all of them.
He really wants to pull this off. Like, Sponge doesn't have ult, but he doesn't care.
Well, they can deliver both of them underneath this turret. And so without the ult from Sponge, I guess he just uses the Realm Warp instead to be a very similar tool.
Yeah, make a Pantheon ult.
Exactly. Build your own.
Wave and the Dragon instead. We have somewhat late Drake in this game at 9 minutes to go over. And it's just going to be a back here for Yehu. DNF I think they were teetering on danger there. Like, it looked pretty rough, but they've been able to, because DRX don't pull the trigger, they just kind of catch those waves down there.
Kai'Sa is a lot more formidable. We do talk about the... Oh, never mind. I just can't make these points as the Magnet Storm does come on through. Sponge going down so low. Andal as well doesn't have the Eclipse anymore. It's Teddy limping out of this fight as Yehu getting chased down here by Berserker and Life, but hits all the Qs. So Berserker
finds a really nice angle there. Kind of like Kai'Sa into Ezreal-esque there.
Oh dear. Just mown down by the stars.
Okay, well, that looked really good for a second, but he is then punished. Look at this player.
Yeah. He's like, yep, win some, you lose some, I guess.
Oh, man. Really survives. It's the Pantheon, though, that follow-up that trades this 1-for-1 as he has vision.
Yeah. And with a Snatcher out of the way, and that is going to be Feats of Warfare at the same time.
As DRX have better prio here on this objective.
Dudu making a rotation over, though. The Unstoppable Onslaught is going to be there as he moves into position.
Life flashes back up.
Yeah, Voidseeker is going to connect with the Rune Prison. Does hold Berserker in place. Still Andal going to be going down alongside Sponge, and DNF just close in on DRX and shut him down.
Yeah, they have so much engage, and DRX just frankly did not respect it. Pyosic's going to pick up the eye.
DNF, yeah, they're standing on vision, but there's just not going to be a contest. DRX just electing to give this one up.
That's one of those moments where I feel like Coach Song and the crew watching backstage is probably going to be like, if you give over the prio, then obviously at that point you kind of have to give his life.
Magnet Storm will be connecting here onto Sponge, trying to get himself out of this one, but I don't think it's going to work, and it doesn't. Life is going to be able to burn him down. The Hex Gates were also bringing Pyosik in, and this could just mean Otacon at the same time. This game is just falling out of the hands of DRX.
So quickly. And, I mean, they are going to try to get this mid-turret, and they should be able to, but I don't know if it's 100% worth.
Yeah, it is going to be the Unstoppable Onslaught there just to deny Andal's engage. But
feats of strength.
Yeah, feats of strength do go over, but Otacon is picked up by DNF, and that is going to mean a whole lot more. They also answer the turret, as Rich is also able to take down this bottom outer as well, so that will at least keep the competition up. Stop over for picking that one up. As Rich fighting against Dudu, it's a very long lane. No ulti up for the next 8 seconds at least. As Rich does need to respect this Q that's doing a fair bit of work. And look at this. I mean, I feel like Rich is trying so much harder than Dudu. But Dudu is still just winning. In comes Sponge, though, to try and make this an uneven fight. As Rich hasn't even used the ulti yet. There is no way that Dudu's getting out of this one as the ult picks him up, and down goes the Scion. Rich finally getting some revenge from this horrific early game.
I have to ask, why are we flashing there also as Dudu? I mean, his teammates are rotating down kind of. Maybe they're making the call like, hold on, just hold them there for one more second. We'll come down and get the trap, because
be able to get his ult off in the right stages in these fights. The wall is going to be set up. DRX do have Sponge moving up, but Life is going to turn up as well. Sponge a little bit late on this play. The teleport to come in and bring Rich towards the fight. The seismic shove is fantastic. Sponge trying to keep himself alive, but it's not going to work as Rich is just desperately trying to get back to his teammates as Teddy and Andal just a little late.
Bulldog Weaver's Wall segment coming through, but instead it ends up being a really nice engage, and it's just these pinches on the top side that DNF have found on the side laners that have...
DRX do need to put in a lot of work trying to deny this Hextech Soul Point. It's going to be such a huge deal. And like you say, DNF with those tempo vibes, but that's what DRX are going to consider.
But look at this,
right now.
They just put Berserker on the Dragon basically alone.
Well, in they go. They do manage to eat Dudu's ulti as the Solar Flare is going to hold the Scion in place. It takes forever to take this guy down if they even can do so, and they can't.
Well, they have Realm Warp, they have Pantheon ult, so Starfall can also get into the back line, but DNF don't care. They're just going to look for this. And a potential turn. Dudu's already here. Late TP from Rich. Life on the flank.
Well, they're once again looking for Dudu as the turn does come in. The Baron has reset. Seismic Shove brings Yehu over to the rest of their team. Or Yehu, if I want to pronounce it correctly. Berserker gets into that backline as Andal also trying to get some work done. They lose the Rise, though, and the Leona's down as well. Teddy just trying to be a hero, but he's melee range with this. Scion is Rich! Oh my god, the savior once again here for DRX as Dudu might be able to kill him, but he has so many dashes, and it is just a top lane battle in the end, and that is going to be a stalemate.
All right, 4 for 4. Only top laners walk out. A lot of tempo lost here for DNF.
be started for all they know.
Berserker is starting it, as you say.
Yep, he is going to get on over there. Solar Flare is going to connect onto the Scion once again. They really want to be able to take down Dudu as Teddy finally does damage to him, but the Drake is just going down. This is Hextech Soul, DRX. You cannot just give this up, but they will anyway. The Grand Starfall does absolutely nothing, as now in goes Andal. There is the public execution to take down the Talia, and Teddy is free hitting. Life going down so low, but Teddy doesn't get hit by any of the abilities, and Rich is a monster. The Rune Prison is fantastic onto Berserker as well, and down he will go. There is the ace for DRX.
DNF bite off a little bit more than they could chew as they get the Hextech Soul, but then they try to opt into a fight. They use the Weaver's Wall here and go for the engage, but like you said...
Berserker is, oh my god. Yeah, this Ambessa is really a problem.
Yeah, I'm starting to also get a little bit concerned about some of these Bulldog walls. That one was a very defensive one in desperation, but that's
I didn't even see it. I'm not going to lie.
DOM and DNF are like, we got to somehow kill this guy. How can we do it? We have no prio. Elder spawns.
This is going to have to be a heroic fight here as Solar Flare not doing too much really as Andal goes in. Pioshik finds the back line.
Teddy?
Oh god, the orders from Teddy are massive. He flashes to get out of the way. The public execution connects onto Berserker. Rich, where have you been all year, you absolute god? As Dudu goes down and DRX, I think this should be able to, or maybe just the end of the game as Sponge just running towards Berserker as best he can. Needs a little bit of a better arm for that one as the seismic shove is likely to do a fair bit of work here, but Sponge is still going to be okay, and DRX are looking to close this one out.
Sponge super low. Teddy was low, but he just did not care. Like I said, they want to kill him. They got to kill him, but they just can't. Atlas, and he does so much damage. It's like diving a fountain. And they do not have a wave.
Yeah, okay, so it's not the end of the game just yet.
Here, Life's coming over, doesn't have flash anymore. It's gonna have to be a really clean fight here.
I mean, they have so much damage as this will just be secured by Sponge. And now Elder, even though these health bars are low, there's no teleport on Dudu. And so DNF, I don't think you can risk
Pioshik
this one.
Ult. Maybe they could catch some of these members and split them and remove some of these buffs. This Elder just turned it into a brief Exodia here.
It can't be Exodia because they do not have the soul.
That's true, you're right.
But as close to as they can get.
I mean, I've always kind of, in my mind, put Life will have his flash eventually, I think in like 2 minutes, if they could survive through these buffs. Maybe there's a team fight for them. But what should happen is DRX, just with their wave clear, grind DNF down to dust.
Rich doesn't have GA yet. That is a bit of good news here for DNF.
And they're just trying to slow this advance with Hextech.
I mean, their composition really does not siege very well here on the side of DRX. Trying to get Rich up to touch this turret is difficult as Solar Flare connects onto Dudu once again. The Grand Starfall to bring in Sponge, but he's straight into the bouncy castle. It's Pioshik will get eaten by a dragon, and unfortunately, even when you kind of try to just throw your life away, you've got a Guardian Angel, you've got an Elder Drake, and they've still got 20 seconds of that one as, oh my, even the ricochets are just doing so much work here.
The wave is getting thin, but there's just enough here, I think, for DRX to end the Weaver's Wall attempt here, but there's too many minions.
Oh, public execution is supercharged out of the way of there as DRX still continue. And I think despite everything, DNF are not going to be able to make it work. Despite Hextech Soul, it's not going to be enough to save it as DRX keep themselves alive.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.